more excited by, oh man, I'm so excited for the food.
It's gonna be good.
Let me know if this Why did I just get my mess? Save me. Good morning. Good morning, my darling, to you. Maybe this morning. No, I'm gonna save it. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning, my darling, to you. When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright. Now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight. So good morning, sunbeams will soon smile through. Good morning, my darling, to you. You sent me an email last night. Just ignore it. Oh no, what happened? Why am I ignoring it? Why am I ignoring your email? I don't understand. Why would you want me to ignore you? Where do you buy your Oreo coffee creamer? I don't have Oreo coffee creamer. Sorry, darling. I wish I had Oreo coffee creamer. That sounds amazing, but I do not.
I think they probably make it, but I doubt it's sugar free. So
yeah, I definitely don't have Oreo. Sorry. I wish I did. Sounds nice. Sounds like a big win to me. Morning, Kennedy. Morning, Liz. Morning, Becca. Morning, Cindy.
You could just buy Oreos.
And smush them up in your coffee.
Smush them up and just put them in your coffee. It probably tastes amazing. Crunchy.
Oh yeah, it says 0 sugar, not Oreo. Sorry. I couldn't figure out the Patreon live last night. Oh no, did you get it figured out? Or what happened? I'm also excited for the restock, Kennedy. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be about 600 slimes. It's going to be solid. The great news, Mary, is that the lives are always recorded, so you can always watch them later when they're on Patreon. That's a good thing. They're always available in the aftermath, too. Did the link not work for you, Mary? Is that what it was? Or what? What time is it for you? I don't know, like 8 in the morning-ish?
Yeah, go after 8.
Yeah. Y'all have so many flavors I wish we had here. Oh, I know. It's hard. I know you guys have different stuff. I was sending Becca the messages for you. Oh, that's so sweet. No, she lives in what do you call it? Canada. Yeah, the gingerbread one's really good.
Canada? The far-flung shores of Canada?
Yes, but they don't.
What flavors?
Happy birthday to T Swift and also my. Oh, it's Taylor Swift's birthday. I did not know that. I'm a bad fan. Coffee is amazing. It's a Spirit Jersey messy hair kind of day. Say that again. Huh, I figured it out. Oh, you did figure it out. Okay, great. I'm glad you figured it out. Morning, you have so much sunlight. I'm in Canada and it's dark and gray here now. Oh no. How did you not know that? Because I'm not good at remembering things like that, you guys. No, but she doesn't know us and we know who she is. Well, I don't know, honey. I don't know if I'd call it rude. You're already watching the concert at home? Nice. Parasocial, exactly. That's well, the old version of it anyway, right, Liz? You had to download the YouTube app. Oh, really? You should be able to watch it from the computer, too.
You could definitely watch it on the computer.
Yeah, you can definitely watch YouTube lives on the computer, but if you were only using your phone, then yes, you need the app. Yes, it is cannoli. It's my favorite one. I use this one the most because it's a very, like, layerable flavor.
It is tasty.
It is. If my phone doesn't know the birthday, then I don't know it either. That's fair. That is yours too, Amanda? Nice. I'm glad we have the same one. I didn't realize how short the labels would be on the screen. The labels would be on the screen. I have to bring up sometime when I'm there now. Yeah, you should. You definitely should. Yeah, Becca's living in a house of COVID, you guys. Womp womp. Becca has COVID, and so do almost all her children. Probably. Except one kid got away.
Oh no, he escaped?
Yeah. He tested negative while the rest of them tested positive.
That's the kid that doesn't like the rest of his siblings and make sure to not get too close to them.
I mean, Sawyer... I don't know. Really, Nikki? No, definitely. Yeah, Sawyer's...
If I were a kid right now during COVID...
Oh, she said he got it.
Oh.
Yeah, if I was a kid during COVID, I probably would have...
I wouldn't have gotten it for my siblings because I refused to share drinks and do all the disgusting things they did. So
Disgustomania. Look at that. What a delight. Delightful. Would you be so kind as to put this in the recycling bin?
Do they not let you go to school if you have COVID now?
Oh, of course not.
I don't know.
Although
like a mild
her
flavor.
husband and her wife's boss, I was thinking of Nikki for a second. Nikki's husband has COVID. Becca's wife's boss tried to make her go into work even though she has COVID. And they were like,
country they live in?
what? They live in New York.
That's funny. Even New Yorkers don't care anymore. Like, but like, if you do that and you get, I mean, obviously, get all the rest of your coworkers like sick of COVID, they're gonna be all pissed at you.
Right, exactly. Like, what? There's like no good. There's no win for her in this
Like,
situation.
email the whole office, be like, hey, Jeremy wants me to come in and get you all sick with COVID.
Hi, this is Deborah. Jeremy said I should come in and get you all sick. You can talk to him about it. I'm at home.
I'm coming in, I guess. Screw you and your families.
Right? Dish. Terrible. I don't know if her boss is named Jeremy, but apparently we've just given him that moniker. Our company says just to work.
A dick boss name.
Tell him. Oh, she works in food production too.
Oh, cool.
It's going well.
Oh, so you could like be a super spreader.
Hooray!
What?
Jen's company says just wear a mask.
What?
Yeah, wild. This is a wild time, you guys.
See, I told you nobody cared about COVID anymore.
It's wild.
They tried to see if people cared like half a year to like 3/4 of a year ago, and no one cared. And they're like, okay, darn.
I have to go into work while I had COVID, but you know, Texas. Yeah, Cindy, you should get the F out. No, I mean, like, with everything that's in the news, you should see yourself out that door real quick.
Well, it's not easy to leave this whole state.
No, it's not, but I believe you, Cindy. I wholeheartedly believe that you're trying very hard. Yeah, Jen, I think that's pretty standard.
Oh, Texas.
Anya, I think both yours and Liz and Nikki and her family's unboxings, and Hannah's doing an unboxing of the thing. They're all wonderful. Well, yeah, Liz, you work from home, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, everyone's advent calendar unboxings have been amazing. I've loved every single one of them. No regrets. 10 out of 10 would do again. She also works with 2 people that recently went into remission with cancer. Good Lord. Yes, let's send the COVID woman into the cancer unit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great plan. She's really going to kill it, literally. Ay.
Got him.
Knocking them out.
They
One
wanted
by
to live, they
one.
shouldn't have gotten cancer.
You should have thought of that before you became peasants.
Exactly.
When do the slime of the months go out? So, Mary, the slime of the months have already gone out, but since you are a new member, yours will go out this week. So if somebody is a long-time person, I send them out pretty early. But if you're a brand new member, I can't have sent it out yet, obviously. And so it'll just be sent in the next couple of days. What level did you join, Mary? I didn't see. If it was grab bag level, your slime will probably go out today. I'm shipping a lot of the new grab bags today. We had I want to say we had like 10 new grab bags this week total. There we go. Yes, Jeremy. Of course, Jeremy. Who has the Hanukkah Advent Calendar posting video? So far, no one's posted the Hanukkah one. Maybe we can convince Tara to post it. Whitney said she gave hers to her niece, and that's why she didn't post hers. I think a lot of the Hanukkah ones were given to children. So that's part of it. I wanted to see them too. I wanted to see them too. I know, Shira, I ran out of jars. Shelly's is like in the ether. I'm sending Shelly replacement stuff because hers is like, who knows where. Yeah, next year, Shira, next year. I'm going to order double the amount of jars next year, and all Advent calendars and Hanukkah things will be shipped before Thanksgiving next year. I'm not bothering with this thing anymore, and people can either open them earlier, they can wait, or they can do whatever they want, but everything is shipping out by Thanksgiving next year because I'm not playing this game anymore. Nope. I was like, okay, well,
you shipped it late.
I didn't ship them late. I shipped them like, but like, what are you gonna do, right? It was just wild. I looked at the website and I love the idea of the slimes. I wish I'd gotten those too. I know they're super cute, but what are you gonna do, right? Also, the other big change that I'm gonna make for next year is that I'm not mailing the cute boxes visibly. There will still be cute boxes, but they'll be inside ugly boxes. Because we've had a lot of them get stolen, and I think it's because the boxes were too cute. That's my theory. People steal cute boxes because they're like, oh, there's Christmas stuff inside.
People steal boxes this time of year.
They do in general, but like especially if it's like a really cute Christmas box, they're gonna be like, oh, it's a gift, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna put them in regular boxes, the cute box inside the regular box, you know?
We'll find the ugliest boxes we can.
On the outside of the box, it's gonna say hemorrhoid medication.
It's gonna say. No, like something worse than that. Like,
What's worse than that?
Like colon cancer test.
Yeah.
Return
kit. Oh God. Yeah, that's exactly right, Shira. It was also very, very early this year. Hanukkah was wildly early this year, which like made it.
Why is it early this year?
It changes based on the Jewish calendar, and this year it started on the 7th, but next year it's as late as Christmas.
Weird.
Last year it was in the middle, if I remember correctly, right? Wasn't it like the 20th or so last year, or am I imagining that, Shira? Like around then? We had 3 Hanukkah calendars that were lost, and 2 of them have been recovered, which is great. They did not arrive by the first day of Hanukkah, but they did get recovered before the end of Hanukkah, which like A+. So that was a win, but Shelly's is still MIA. But Tara's and Hal's have arrived, so we're good on that front. Whitney's arrived, and
What happened with our Nespresso?
it did happen with our Nespresso.
They're ready for advance.
But Sasha had already pre-warned me. Wait, what did I pre-warn you? It's smoothie dance time, you guys. Is it just me or did that sound different than usual?
It did. It was weird. It didn't sound as powerful.
It didn't. Uh-oh.
Is it dying?
How long have you had it?
Not that long. I mean, not that long.
Huh.
Not that long.
It did sound different, right? Yeah. Weird. Huh. All right.
Sad for us.
Well, we'll get a new one, honey. Don't worry.
I'm crying.
You're crying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's crying. And while he's crying, I guess we're going to listen to Maddie cry. Is the blender dyer that... Cindy wants to know, is the blender dyer, were there less tough things in it?
Were there less what?
Tough things, like less frozen fruit? Was it more soft?
It was basically the same as it always is.
Eh.
It went through it fine though.
Yeah. Weird. Weird.
We are very low on cups, so you are getting a mustache right.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Well, we're running the dishwasher after breakfast anyway, so it'll be fine. All right, so I agree, Amanda. it's time to read Key Ridge. Let's get into it.
Oh well, that's not gonna work as a mustache thing because you have straw.
Oh, I don't need the straw in that cup, I guess.
No, you like straw.
Yeah, but that's not the smoothie straw.
We're out of other straws.
I know. No, I'll take it. It's too late. You're in it. You're in it.
I am incompetent.
You're not incompetent, but the funny part is that you put the straw in upside down.
I mean, who can really tell which way it's supposed to go?
This is the down.
Why?
Because it goes into the cup to hold it in.
Okay.
If it was out, it would just flop around.
But what if that fit underneath the cup?
It doesn't.
I couldn't.
You're a gem. Thank you for this.
Am I?
Oh, Rosie, you also got COVID?
No. It's the seasonal flu.
Not good, you guys. Don't come here.
Don't worry, we'll get sick.
Me too, Mallory. Me too.
We're
Tell
gonna
me you
get
know.
out
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And then go hang out with 2 different sets of kids. We need to wear masks.
We should probably wear masks around those
We should
children.
mask up around all these people.
Yeah.
How annoyed would my brother be? He'd be so annoyed.
I don't think we need to mask up around them because only the oldest goes to school. The 2 little ones aren't old enough to go to school yet, and both your brother and his wife work from home. I think it's the other kids who are more of a
Well, the
concern.
other kids are gonna get us.
Right,
They're gonna try to get us.
right. They did already once. So I don't think we need to worry about them. As long as it blends and it doesn't smell like burning, you're okay for now. Great. That's good news. I started masking when I was
I
going
always
home.
smell burning in the morning. My little mini strokes.
Okay, let's read and not smell burning. And then today I gotta finish all the stuff for the restock because guess what, y'all? Patreon restock is tomorrow. No time for dilly dallies. Yeah, you should probably get that. You should probably get that checked out. Becca says.
Nah.
He said nah. All right, here we go. Chapter 10. Beep beep beep. My phone. Oh, that was the wrong kind of beep. It looks like it's supposed to say that because it says beep 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 in all caps, but then it says it's her phone. Nobody's phone sounds like that. Oh well. My phone continued to go off. I groaned in protest. My eyelids were heavy. It was difficult to pry them open. When I finally did, I almost forgot that I was in a new room. The bed was heavenly. I'd passed out almost as soon as my head hit the pillow. Beep, beep, beep. I reached for my phone to shut off the pushy alarm. Stretching my arms over my head, I rolled out of bed. As soon as my feet hit the floor, I recalled just how chilly my new surroundings were. Grabbing the blanket off the bed and wrapping it around myself, I went in search of a thermostat. The white device was tucked away on this tiny sliver of wall between the kitchen and the bathroom. I cranked it up to 72 in the hopes that it would remove the inner chill that had grabbed onto my bones. That inner chill is real, you guys. If you go in a cold place and you're not dressed properly, it goes right to your bones. It's true. The moody blue sky shone through the window in the living room. It all looked so magical with the sun having just slipped behind the mountaintops. I glanced at the clock on the wall. It was only 4 p.m. Apparently it got dark early here. A glimmer caught my eye and I gasped, rushing to the windowsill to get a closer look. It was actually snowing. I gleefully jumped up and down as I took in the white flakes falling softly from the sky. I needed to get out there and experience that firsthand. I pulled on a long-sleeved t-shirt and layered a green hoodie on top of it. I grabbed my windbreaker and keys. Checking the map on my phone revealed that there was a superstore just 15 minutes away. I could head there now to pick up some food and hopefully some warmer clothes. I slipped into my ankle-length furry sheepskin boots, which, according to Frankie, were not actually practical footwear for the snow, and headed out the door. As soon as my boot connected with the ground outside, it shot out from beneath me. I shrieked. The thin layer of snow must have iced over while I was napping. My boots, while cute, didn't provide any traction on the slippery stairs. This is what Frankie had meant by impractical. I gripped the railing and took the steps slowly, one at a time. When I reached the bottom, I felt momentarily proud of myself for not slipping before realizing that it was freezing outside. I waddled as quickly as I could manage to my new monster SUV and hopped in. The leather seats were shockingly cold, and I let out another yelp. Thank God Bev wasn't around to witness this, or she would have had even less confidence in my ability to run her ski lodge effectively. Right, you clueless girl in Uggs. That's literally exactly what I was thinking when she said she put on furry sheepskin boots. Aurora, literally the thought that went through my mind is, oh, those are going to be soaked in 15 seconds. They get so wet and so gross. All girls who were around in 2002, I mean, I didn't even live in a rainy place. I lived in California and it was still soaked all the time. They're horrible. I don't know why anyone wears those. There's no hope. Don't bother, Becca. Don't bother. They're not for winter. They're not for anything. I don't know what Uggs are for. Can someone tell me a practical use for Uggs? I don't believe there is one. I believe that it was a trick from the fashion industry on millennial girls of the early 2000s for no reason. That is my belief system. They're indoor slippers in Australia. Okay, I believe that. Mildly cold, dry weather. Texas winter, it's pretty dry. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just to say, yeah, I have Ugg slippers inside the house. But the really tall ones, you wear as slippers inside the house, Tressa? I have Uggs, but I'm in it. Oh, well, yeah, of course. That's totally different, Anya. Your feet don't touch the water. You have that benefit. I did infinity scarves, but never Uggs. I made an infinity scarf. I knitted one. It's very pretty. I knitted it for autumn some years ago. It was nice. The keys stuck when I put them in the ignition, but the engine eventually started and I blasted the heat. It wasn't until I was about to put the car in drive that I realized I couldn't see out the front window. What the? Upon closer examination, the window appeared covered in a layer of snow and ice. I turned on the windshield wipers only to be met with an angry scraping sound and a still obstructed view. Huh, I wonder what people did about this. Did everyone just sit around and wait for the heat of their car to melt the ice? Well, it didn't look like there was much of that going on the window. I'm sure I wouldn't be here long. I turned on the radio and scanned through the channels. A throwback station was playing Britney, so I turned it up. I sang loudly while I waited for the ice to soften so the wipers could push it out of the way. Rap, rap, rap. I screamed and clutched my chest, turning to see what had made the knocking sound. Clear brown eyes peered back at me through the window. Giles. As I rolled the window down, I couldn't help but notice how the ends of his hair curled up underneath his striped black beanie. He gave me a confused look, and I prepared my best charming smile in return. Hey, Giles, I was just... What are you doing? I inhaled sharply through my nose, but did not drop my smile. I hated being interrupted, and if these initial interactions were a good indicator, Giles was about to test my patience. I was about to drive to a nearby store and pick up a few No. Why are you just sitting here parked in the driveway? I pulled up 5 minutes ago, and you haven't moved. My smile finally dropped at his harsh tone. Politeness can only get me so far. It was clear that I'd have to work extra hard to get on this guy's good side. You've been watching me for 5 minutes? He shrugged. I was waiting to pull into the driveway, and then when you never backed out, I figured I might as well come and see what the hell was taking you so long. Wow, it's so nice of you to check on me, I said in a sickeningly sweet tone. I'm just waiting for my windshield to melt. You see, there's some ice on it, and I can't see. You're waiting for your windshield to melt? He repeated and looked at me as if I was the biggest idiot on the planet. That's what I said. I can't see anything right now. You're just sitting here, waiting? Yes, I huffed. Giles opened the door of my back seat and felt around on the floor. What are you doing? I asked as he produced a plastic stick-looking thing from my back seat. What is that? And can you please stop Here, he said as he opened my door and shoved the foreign object into my hands. What am I supposed to do with this? It's a scraper. I stared at him blankly. You use it to scrape? I took the device and slowly got out of the car, fearing him outright calling me stupid. I examined the piece of plastic. It had bristles on one side and a plastic fan on the other. What had he called it? Jesus. He let out an exasperated sigh and snatched the stick back. He proceeded to move to the front of my car and use the stick to chip away at the ice on the windshield. Oh, that actually made a lot of sense. I crossed my arms. Thanks, I called out over the scraping noise. I appreciate the help. I've never had to clear ice off the windows, and they never do it in movies. He paused to stare at me. Movies? Seriously? He cocked his head and examined me. I just laughed nervously and shifted my gaze to the mountains. Don't get out much, huh? It's not that, I protested as though it were, although there were truth in his words. I grew up in Florida. We just usually stayed pretty local for vacations. My parents weren't into the whole ski trips and Aspen thing. Aspen's overrated. Right, sure. No, I was just using it as an example since it's famous and all that. I rocked back and forth on my boots, unsure of what to say next. Giles wasn't exactly a chatterbox, and anytime I spoke to him, I felt like I was a giant pain in his ass. So, maybe I should give this whole scraping thing a try? I held out my hand, but he didn't give it over. I'm almost done, he said and continued what he was doing. After a few seconds, he tossed the stick back where he'd found it. Do you know how to use your defrosters? He asked. I trailed off, too scared to give him an answer. Move it. He pushed past me and leaned over the driver's seat into the center control unit. Look at this. I leaned in next to him to see. There wasn't a lot of room with both of us leaning through the same door frame, so I was forced to press my side against his. He smelled good, and his body felt warm against my freezing one. I shook my head and focused on what he was showing me. He pointed to a knob that was next to the heating settings. Push this one for rear defrost and this one for front defrost. It'll help melt the ice faster next time. Oh, of course there would be a button for that. Duh, thanks. I stood up and put a few steps of space between us before crossing my arms and rubbing my hands up and down them. How did anyone live in these frigid conditions? Giles exited the driver's side and leaned against the door frame, eyeing me disdainfully. You should wear a warmer coat than that. You're gonna freeze to death. Thanks, Sherlock. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was trying to do right now, to go buy some warmer clothes. He stared at me blankly. Okay, well, still nothing. It was great running into you again. I walked past him and re-entered the car. I'm sure I'll see you around the lodge. I reached for the door to slam it closed, but Giles was faster than me. He gripped the top of the window so that when I pulled the door, it didn't move an inch. The guy was wearing on my last nerve. Taking an exaggerated breath in, I glared at the towering man. My polite smile and sweet voice had dissolved entirely at this point. What is your problem? I barked. He chuckled. I can't let you drive anywhere right now. Why not? Because it's people like you that have never driven in the snow, that don't know what they're doing and cause accidents. You would be a danger to yourself and everyone else on the road. Have you not seen this monstrosity that I'm driving? There's no way this thing slides anywhere. Yeah, I appreciate your heavy machinery, but the answer is still no. But I need food and clothes. Like you said, I'll freeze to death. Should have come better prepared. But what is all of that commotion down there? Our face-off was thankfully interrupted by Bev walking down her front entrance toward us. I'm trying to watch my show, and all I can hear is you two yammering about something. Bev. His evil demeanor was replaced with a warm smile as he hugged Bev. I just stopped by to make sure you still had power. I know the tree branch has been threatening your line ever since the big storm a few weeks ago. Yeah, I'm fine as you can see. She patted his chest and then directed her attention towards me. How are you settling in, Maddie? Do you need anything? Actually, yes. I'm trying to head out to buy a few necessities, but your nephew has detained me. I smiled at Bev and glared at Giles. Sure, she would be on my side. He said I can't drive in these conditions. Well, you can't, she said matter-of-factly. Excuse me? My mouth hung open in shock. Roads are slick, and you aren't used to it. I'd kick myself if I let something happen to you or someone else on this road. Told you. Giles smirked at me. I stuck my tongue out at him. His mouth hung open. Did you just... Giles will drive you. What? We both replied in unison. These conditions are nothing for a local. He'll get you to the store just fine, and you'll be able to get whatever you need. Bev, I can't. I've got to. That's enough, Giles. You were raised to be a gentleman, and a gentleman helps out when the newest town resident is in desperate need of a sweater and a snack. Isn't that right? Fine, he grumbled. We'll take my car. He stalked off to the truck parked in the street. Great! I smiled at Bev, hoping my disdain for her nephew wasn't written all over my face. Have fun, she called out. I have an interview. Oh, a new internal role. I thought you didn't want to stay there. Am I crazy? Did I make that up? How'd it go? As soon as the truck pulled into the gigantic parking lot, I sprung out of the door. That had been the most awkward car ride of my entire life. After making small talk about the snow or the town and receiving nothing but grunts in return, I gave up trying to communicate with him. At least now I could do my shopping in peace and get the rest of this interaction over with as quickly as possible. The driver's side door slammed behind me and I whipped my head around to see Giles exiting the truck. You're coming too? My tone gave away my disappointment. He shrugged. Too cold to wait outside. Yeah, of course. We walked side by side to the automatic entry doors. I grabbed my cart and headed for the grocery section. To my dismay, instead of wandering off someplace else, Giles fell in step beside me. Oh, well that makes sense, Shelley.
So I started, still determined that I could win him over. Whatever preconceived notion he had about me were clearly wrong. Giles is an interesting name. He shrugged and examined an apple as I threw a few ready-made salads into the cart. Were you named for someone? I pressed when he didn't respond. My grandfather. Oh my God, I said excitedly, stopping the cart. I was named for my grandmother. Maddie is short for Matilda. That's so crazy. We were both named for... Oh, she's sorry, that's still her. That's so crazy. We were both named for our grandparents. He looked bored. Is it? I faltered at his dry response and continued to push the cart forward. Well, more like a crazy coincidence than actually crazy. It's just interesting, is all. Is it? He repeated, and it took all of my self-control not to shove his chest and push his smug face away from me. I guess not, I finally relented. We continued in silence as I grabbed what I needed. Apparently, I had no self-preservation techniques because my brain continued to send messages to my mouth to make small talk. So snowboarding, that's a really exciting career. His eyes grew wide in surprise before he tore them away from mine. You Googled me? My coworker had heard of you, so I might have done some research. If you were any good at researching, you know I'm retired. Yeah, well, it's still impressive that you were able to do it professionally. You must be really good. I used to be better. It's all downhill once you're in your 30s. That's not a very good attitude to have. He looked at me pointedly. It's just the truth. Well, I guess if you're comparing yourself to younger you, then sure, but our bones get creakier, our muscles get sore, and you were still one of the best in the world in your prime, so I'm sure you're still like 99th percentile of snowboarders right now. That's something to be proud of. I didn't know why I was yammering on about his snowboarding career, but the fact that he had responded with more than one word had sent me into a vocal frenzy. I was desperate to keep the conversation going. That desperation was one-sided because Giles didn't say anything after that. I sighed and trudged through the aisle toward the clothing department. I threw a few sweaters into the cart and kept moving to outerwear. There were just a few coats to choose from, and the only one that appeared to be in my size was unfortunately in neon orange with camo pockets. Shoot, not a very big selection. Nothing here good enough for you? Giles was resting an arm on the coat rack and staring down at me. I balked at him. That's not what I meant. There's just not a lot of options. Sorry it isn't up to your standards. Stuffing the coat into the cart, I glared at him. What are you even talking about? I'm from Florida. That in no way makes me a snob or rich, I angrily marched on. And you're one to talk, Mr. Hotshot Professional Snowboarder. You're the one that probably thinks this place is beneath him. As if on cue, one of the workers walked up to us and said, Hey, Giles, twice in 1 week, huh? Yeah, man, just one of those weeks. I rolled my eyes. Whatever, that doesn't prove anything. A smirk started to form on his lips before he coughed to disguise it. After I grabbed a pair of black rubber-soled boots, we hit the checkout line. The rest of the transaction happened without either of us speaking a word. Why should I bother trying if he was so determined not to be polite? Back at the car, I stuffed my purchases into his trunk. I climbed into the passenger seat and prepared myself for another uncomfortable drive. He slid into the driver's seat and started the engine. The cold air blasted from the vents, and I began to shiver. Why does it take so long for the heat to get going? I asked through chattering teeth. The car engine has to heat up, Einstein. Thank you so much for the science lesson, I mumbled. He chuckled, and I spun around in my seat to face him. You know what? I don't know what your deal is, but you could at least try to be civil towards me. You don't even know me. I promise I'm a nice person. I just want to help with the lodge. I'm not some corporate monster that's descended upon your town, despite what you must think. I am being civil. You call snippy responses or ignoring me civil? I drove you here, didn't I? He was glaring at me now. Only because your aunt practically forced you to. Hey, I'm sorry if I'm not falling all over you. I'm sure that's what you're used to, right? Just because you usually get everything you want from guys doesn't mean that I have to bend over backwards for you. I laughed bitterly. Me? Get everything I want? Yeah, that's a good one. He pulled out of the parking lot. He pulled out of the parking lot and snuck a glance at me, but his eyes hardly softened. His hard eyes had softened ever so slightly. Well, it seems like there's a story there. There's not. He whistled. Yeah, must have been bad. Nasty breakup or something? You could say that. I muttered, staring out the window. Did you drive away the last guy with your ditzy attitude, or was it your affinity for sticking your nose in other people's business? I whipped my head around. Why don't you just shut the hell up? He took his eyes off the road briefly to glance at me. At least he had the decency to look contrite. I crossed my arms and resumed staring out the window, not caring that I had just made a scene. He had been baiting me all night. He'd wanted an outburst out of me, and now he had one. Screw him. Honey could only get you so far if the fly turned out to be a hornet. After another minute, Giles sighed. Look, I'm sorry. That was out of line. I didn't respond or turn to look at him. I might not like that you're here, but it doesn't give me an excuse to make personal jabs at you. He cursed under his breath. Look, I've got a lot going on right now. It's not an excuse to be a dick, but it is what it is. I'll try to stay out of your way while you're here for the next couple of weeks. My ears perked up. Who's Amber Benson? My ears perked up. Well, I might be gone by then. Someone from my company will be here after all that. Hopefully, you don't treat them as poorly as you're treating me. The trial period will be up in a few weeks, and then this will all be over, he insisted. Well, I plan to wow your aunt right into signing a contract with us. Sorry to break it to you, but that won't happen. I have partial stake in the lodge too, and I only agreed to the trial period because she begged me to give it a chance. I will not be so generous when it comes to signing a long-term contract. My mouth hung open. But I thought Bev was the primary decision maker. He shrugged. Technically she is, but I've got a lot of history with the lodge too. Plus, we're family. She's going to take that into account in the end. We'll see about that, I said. He opened his mouth as if to say something else, but thankfully shut it. I'm not sure what his problem with me was, but it sure as hell wasn't going to get in the way of me doing my job. Once Bev saw how much of an asset I could be, and then I'm sure she would sign the contract. She said it herself. They were drowning. I just needed to make a good impression tomorrow and hit the ground running with whatever work needed to be done. Giles Stone was not my problem, and I refused to spend one more iota of energy being worried about winning him over. We're actually like moving through this pretty well. So that is going on, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, right. Of course, Nikki. Of course. So I have to go because stress out your body. Because I have to make all the listings for the website today, and I still have to film videos of all the new sampler packs. So expect that. Expect a lot of videos today. It's probably going to be like an overwhelming amount. Oh, your crew neck got dispatched. That's amazing. Morning, Catherine. How do I convince the 4-year-olds that feeding dinosaurs is a waste of food? Oh my gosh, your shirts came today, Nikki. You have to send us a picture. Yeah, well, I don't know, Becca. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. Tell them that they only eat pennies. You know what? There's something to that. It's not dino food and it will make them sick. Also good. You should feed your dinosaur pennies. That's hilarious. I love it. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be pennies, right? It could be something else you have a lot of. Like, what about beads? They eat beads. Wait, you have plenty of beads in your house because I've given them. Or they're full. Yeah, the dinosaur's too full. Too full. All right, so I'm going to go. If anyone has restock questions, will you all do me the favor of commenting any restock questions on a post so that I can make a video so that everyone can get the benefit of the answer? That would be supremely helpful. I will have videos coming out all day long. Yeah, I would still do it, Anya. Was there going to be sweatshirts or just no, there's sweatshirts too. Go in my most recent video share, there's a link to both. There's t-shirts and sweatshirts. Yeah. They're there. Definitely. Definitely. Oh, cool, because I didn't see them on her website. Oh, really? They should be there. I stole Mr. Men's peppermint for a project for Ellie. You should tell me I have so many. Oh, I guess you're done with Mr. Men. He's like a year old anyway, so what do you care? Year-old slime can donate its add-ins. All right, so I will see you all later. Like I said, tons of stuff going out today. I should have a list of all of the restock stuff by end of day today. Restock for Patreon is tomorrow morning at 10:30. That's all. I don't know what else to say. That's the whole kit and caboodle here. And that's pretty much it. I will see you all later.